วัสดีค่ะ Hello everyone. Welcome to our quick introductions to Thailand's attractions. Sightseeing in Thailand couldn't be easier as we bring you real tour videos that you won't find anywhere else but on our channel.
Hi, nice to see you again at our Click Thailand channel. Today we are going out of Bangkok. We will drive to the waves for 2.5 hours. Our destination is one of the most attraction sites in Kanchanaburi. Do you know the movies called The Bridge on the River Kwai and The Railway Man? I guess you have heard about those movies. Back to World War II in the part of Japanese force in Thailand. In 1941 to 1946, the Thailand had involved in. But how? Today, we will find out together. We will show you on this bridge over the River Kwai tour video. Come with us. Here we are in Kanchanaburi, which is about 125 kilometers far from Bangkok. And for this full-day tour, we normally leave Bangkok around 7 in the morning to reach here around 9:30, in order to have enough time to see interesting sights in Kanchanaburi and get on the train in time. Let's start with the 4 museums in Kanchanaburi. The story of the railway is presented in 4 museums. They differ in their styles of presentation. The first one is the Jeep, which stands for Japan, England, Australia, Thailand, Holland Museum in 1977, on the compound of the Buddhist temple. It mainly consists of a bamboo hut replica, similar to the laborers' accommodations. The second one is close to the cemetery. There is the Thailand-Burma Railway Central Museum. The third one is close to the bridge on the River Kwai. There is another Jeep museum which mainly concentrates on the fate of the prisoner of World War II. And the fourth one is Hellfire Pass Memorial Museum, where we are going to visit in the next video. We are at the bridge on the River Kwai now. It's one of the world's most famous bridges that was built during the Second World War by the prisoners and the laborers. Back in December 1941, Japan Army joined the war with China to attack British, Dutch, and American territories in Asia and the Pacific. By June 1942, Japanese conquests encompassed a vast area of Southeast Asia and the Western Pacific. The Japanese force fought against British Army in Burma. However, the main target was invade India. Japan realized that if they used the maritime route to transport the weapons, it would be risky to airstrike. So, they decided to build a railway through Thailand to bring much-needed supplies to Japan force in Burma. The railway was decided to be 258 miles or 415 kilometers long, running through jungles, across rivers, and over the mountains from Thailand to Burma. The railway was in Thailand for 188 miles or 304 kilometers, and in Burma for 70 miles or 111 kilometers. The construction of the railway by the Japanese used about 50,000 British, Australian, American, Dutch, and Irish prisoners of war, with more than 275,000 workers to construct the strategic railway crossing through Burma. This construction was full of hardship. It was said that it was impossible to build a railway link between Thailand and Burma within a year, but The Japanese force during the Second World War managed to do it. This is the monument to all those that gave their life and all those who survived it. One of the highlights of this Kanchanaburi day tour is boarding the train. Let's go, we don't want to miss it. We are riding on the train passing the famous 335 meters long wooden Tamkrasa Bridge, which boasts the most beautiful view of the Date Railway. Trains running on the tourist-oriented route must slow down on the bridge for safety because it is supported by its original wood structure built over 70 years ago. But half of the original wooden sleepers on the bridge were replaced with the new wooden ones, and the pieces of the wooden supportive structure were replaced with the new wooden parts in order to keep the original wooden aspect of the section. Here we arrive at one of the most difficult parts of the railway, Prasar Cave Bridge. This is a part of the Date Railway, which is considered as unseen Thailand. The railway curves along the steep cliffs and travels along the Kwai River. It was once considered as a truly horrible place, but at the same time, it is the most beautiful place as well. In this section, we are encountering steep mountains adjoining the Kwai River, where about 1,000 prisoners died. It is the longest deep river crossing bridge of the railway. This dangerous curved railway is along the Kwai River and surrounded with steep mountains, which is the 400 meters long through mountains and about 10 meters higher than the river. Imagine in 1943, they didn't have any necessary equipment for construction. So how did they do it? During construction, 2,000 POW, foreign laborers, and Thai workers had to use a rope to tie their waists and hung down to extract stone to make railroad tracks along the cliff for using hardwood to support stability. The structure was made entirely of wood. The foundation of the pier was made from the last piece of hardwood without using any wooden joints to support the train's weight. Incredibly, its construction was finished in only 17 days. The time for the laying down of the rails was limited. As a result, when the first train journey launched, the Japanese train fell into the Kwai River, with all those who traveled on that journey dying in the accident. If you count all of the dead combined with all of the POW, foreign laborers, and Thai workers, we could say that one of their lives was exchanged for one railway sleeper. After we've had the story of the bridge over the River Kwai, we now come to give respect to all that gave their life. The prisoners of war died during the construction of the Date Railway. 6,982 Allied soldiers are buried here. The cemetery covers a very large compound, which is well taken care of and decorated with the beautiful plants and trees. For the next video, we are visiting another important part of Thai history. Hellfire or Chong Khao Khat is a spot where the railway needed to cut through the mountain, which was almost impossible, but the POW and laborers were forced to use hand drills, picks the shovels to carve the rock so that trains could pass. See you next week and enjoy watching our new tour video. See us here, click Thailand channel and subscribe to travel and enjoy our tour video with professional tour guide every week.